followed along this far, then you know that the transmission is finished and rebuilt. And appreciate you sticking around through all that footage to check everything out. So right now I've got the transmission up under the truck, back on the lift. I'll show it to you, which is a little bit of a feat in and of itself, but there it is. So I'm gonna get the bell housing put on. I still gotta flush the cooler out. I'm about to do that now. I don't expect it should be too bad, but I got some, it's called cooler clean, and I've got a custom adapter I made that'll clip onto the quick connect GM lines, and so I can spray that through there, get it all cleaned out, blow it out with air, you know, all that good stuff. And then basically I'm just gonna put it all back together, go ahead and get the fluid in it and all that good stuff, start it up, get the fluid circulating, and then I'm gonna download the tune or upload the tune and go ahead and start modifying that, see what's in there, and hopefully after that we'll be ready for a test drive. So this is a Wabra 255 external fuel pump, inline fuel pump, and I've got it running off of one of my M4. I think this is a 4 amp hour, yeah, XE 4.0 battery, which is 12 volts. So she's pumping big time, no leaks up here or anything. So like I said, once this circulates for a little while, I will change the fluid out and run it one more time, and then we should be good to go. Alright guys, the transmission is fully installed. Double checked everything. I put 2 gallons of fluid in it, and I'm filling up a 3rd gallon now. Figured I'd show you guys this. I know it's in the time lapse, but this is the same pump I used to flush the cooler out. And of course I ran some cleaner through there and cleaned it and lubricated it, and then got the idea to use it to transfer fluid from the 5-gallon bucket to this 1-gallon jug. So I got that going right now. So I think at 2 gallons I'm going to go ahead and start it up and let it run for about 10 seconds and turn it back off, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour a 3rd gallon in there, and then I will start it up, let it run, and start getting up the temperature. I'll probably go ahead and do another quart or so, but I want to start looking at the dipstick at that point. fluid went anywhere. So I'm gonna plunge this thing in here and see if it's registering. Well, it actually is. So I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up and let it warm up. That's let's see, altogether I've got 10 quarts in there, so I'm gonna let it run, see where we end up. And also put it through the gears real quick. I'll show you guys how to do that. Alright, so what you want to start out doing, bump it down to neutral. And what we're doing is just kind of filling the valve body and everything with fluid. So I'm holding the brake. I'm going to go down to first, let it sit for about 5 seconds, go to second, third, drive. Now I'm going to go to reverse. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 seconds. Now fluid should be pretty well circulated, so I'm going to go ahead and let it start moving. I'm going to start with reverse. And you can see it started moving. I'm going to try first. Second. Let's see, we got first and second. I can't do much more because the traction control is going to start acting crazy. I don't feel like pulling the fuse and all that. But we know we've got first and second. We've circulated fluid. So now what I'm going to do is go check the fluid again, see where we're at. Always roll the windows down, so if the car locks itself, you're not screaming. No fluid anywhere. Alright guys, it's finally time to go for a test drive. I just got finished flashing the TCM with the changes that I need to make. And you know, so basically what I did is I adjusted the force motor current and changed a couple of things. Like basically the force motor current is what controls the electronic pressure control solenoid. The higher the numbers, the more fluid is allowed to be bled off the system. So basically I take about between 15 and 20% out of that table, which increases the pressure. So you drop the numbers by about, like I said, about 15%. That's what I did on this one. And I made a couple of adjustments for the torque converter. And so we're gonna go for a test drive and see how it does. And also I'm gonna be able to use VCM scanner to monitor trans slip. So if the transmission's slipping at all, I can go back in the data log and look and see, because sometimes you can't feel it, but it might be picking up, you know, 10 or 15 or 20% slip or something like that. So I'm gonna look for that, make sure that's not an issue. If it is, then I'll go in and I'll adjust the forced motor current, you know, another probably 5 or 10%, and try it again. And that's basically what we're trying to do there. And then I got to make sure that the shifts are firm, but not, you know, I don't want to break anything. You know, we don't want any hard shifts. We just want a nice firm shift. So all right, we're gonna go ahead and start it up and get connected here. Thing's got a nice rumble to it. All right, I got trans slip right there. Going into reverse. Sneak down the driveway. Get the garage closed. And then I'll see you guys on the highway. This thing feels great. I'm talking about perfect. I think I got the shift pressures and everything dead on. Got the shift technologies, second and fourth gear servo, those are perfect. Drilled the feed holes and everything for the first and second and third gear, which you guys have seen all that. But you know, in combination with everything, and you know, you don't have to crank up the shift pressures to make the transmission last. In fact, I think it does the opposite. I don't like torque management, because torque management reduces the pressure going into the clutch packs while it shifts. It also cuts the timing in the engine. So all in all, it's going to make you a lot slower. And if you just simply take the time to set the shift points up and the shift pressures and the shift timing and all that stuff, you don't need torque management. You don't need the gears slamming. You know, you don't need it barking second, because, you know, that's the opposite of what you really want. If you want a transmission to last, barking gears and all that kind of hard shift, none of that stuff is good for the transmission at all. So, like I said, everything in combination, adjusting the tune and everything, we should, you know, really see a good long-lasting transmission here. Alright, there's the torque converter clutch right there. It's usually the last thing to start working, because, you know, it's got to get the air out of the clutch circuit and all that stuff. And, you know, when you're doing normal driving, it's not being pushed out. Once it commands overdrive, it'll start slowly pushing the air up, circulating it back into the system. So, all right, traffic is nuts today. I should have run a different way. Alright, if I got some room, I'm gonna get on it right here pretty good, and we'll see how it does. Let this truck get up a little bit. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, those shifts are excellent. I don't even have to make any adjustments. That was perfect. That's the first time I've ever gotten the shift firmness just dead on the first try. Whew. That's awesome. Alright, we got the torque converter clutch is good. This is a good running truck right here. I'll have to find out what kind of cam's in this thing. Get on this thing a little bit. Boy, this thing feels good. That van is working real good. There's a straightaway, no cars. Let's do it first and second again. Once the band breaks in, it usually starts getting a lot firmer on the shifts. That transmission feels great. It's a nice, smooth running truck too. The power's good. You know, for an NA, it's very. It's got a nice wide range. I don't feel it like starting to pull harder in the top end. So this is definitely a good cam for this truck. It's got nice solid power right from the bottom. So. Trying to guess which cam it is. The idle sounds different in the V3. Could be a Texas Speed Stage 3. Really don't know. I'm going to have to ask him. It feels like about a Stage 3 cam there. But it's hard to tell. It could be a Stage 4. Because it does idle pretty choppy, so it's hard to say. Tickled to death with this one. Alright guys, we're all finished up on this one. I just wanted to say thanks for watching. If you made it this long, you're a true fan. I appreciate you being here. So congrats to the new owner on his transmission, the new transmission owner, and we'll catch you guys next time.